Gonna come in that.
All right, we are live.
Hey, y'all.
Hey guys, welcome to Raising the Bar. I'm in New York. Well, first of all, I'm Alvin Wayne and I'm in New York.
And I am David Quarles and I'm down the street. If you are in Memphis, I'm in Memphis.
Not down the street.
Let's sit down. And so, yes, y'all, welcome to tonight. And so, what we plan to do, and hopefully you all can hear me very well, but no, what we plan to do tonight is to go through some styling for bar carts, as well as how you can style out your countertop or any bar situation that you have. And then afterwards, we're going to get to making our drinks. So we're going to get to what is our fun part, and then we'll get to the actual fun part later, which is making the drinks.
Exactly, because no matter if the world is wide open or we still locked in the houses, we always got to have a good happy hour at home. And it starts with a good cocktail, because we all know everything starts right here at home. Ain't that right, David?
You know it is. I always say charity starts at home, and you know what? You gotta start
no matter what city you are in.
So yes, but I will mention first, before we get really started, I'm not actually in my home. Alvin is in his home, but we have been graciously provided the surroundings of Stock and Bell. So I would like to thank Stock and Bell for letting me host us here in our vignette. It's kind of like home, but yes. So let's get to it. Alvin, do you want to start on the styling portion?
Yeah. So, okay. First of all, your bar at home is going to start with your libations, of course. So, pick your favorite drink, whatever you like. Start there. A lot of people always say like, hey, I want to have my own bar at home, but I don't know what to begin with. So I always say you need a base. So as you can see here, I have a tray, and on my home bar, I also have a tray. So it's whether you're having it stationary or whether you're moving it around like I am, because again, I'm in New York, I got to make my space work for me. So my bar is going to be wherever I am, whether it's in the bedroom, the kitchen, not the bedroom. Well, wherever I am in my home, I may need a cocktail, and I may need to whip one up real quick. So you always want to start with a tray, and that kind of holds everything together and keeps it nice and tight. So you want to start with your tray. Then, of course, you need your bar accoutrements, your bar tools. I like to shop at CB2. West Elm has some. You can even check out Amazon. You just need all the things that you need to make your drinks. Then you also want to start with some decanters. So when it comes to decanters, you can look on Amazon, literally anywhere, Home Goods, Target, wherever you shop, decanters are a must. All you need is like one or two, and those are for your cognacs and your whiskey. I put Hennessy in mine, so, because I like a little brown every now and then. So get you a couple of decanters, and then fresh fruit, because we always got to garnish our cocktails, right? You can never go wrong. And then this is not a bar essential, but we're all about being sustainable and kind and friendly to our earth. As you can see, I already have my cocktail, my mouth watering for it. But metal straws, Amazon, you cannot go wrong. They come in long, short, whether you're drinking out of a highball glass or a short glass like myself. Sustainable straws. And then, of course, glassware. You need some bomb glassware. You can get them from anywhere. And since I've been drinking more, I've realized hey, I need more glasses. It's a highball. You got a short cocktail or old-fashioned glass, Moscow Mule. But start with something nice and simple like this. This is from Crate and Barrel. You can literally shop anywhere, literally anywhere, and get you some good glasses for your cocktails. So yeah, I don't know if I covered it all, but then your favorite liquor. You got to stay stocked and start small and grow. And when you have people over often, they're going to bring their own bottles and bring you bottles. So start there. Open it up. Welcome.
Boom. And there we go. And so, yes, I'm just going to piggyback off of everything that Alvin said. And so with mine, you're going to be styling out a bar cart. And so if you do have, and once again, as Alvin was saying, in New York, listen, your space is going to be your space. And so you got to be able to move with it as you need to. But this one, say if you have a smaller apartment, so same thing. Or if you're styling out, say, your patio and you want to have an outdoor situation. So this is basically the setup that I have at the house. And so just like Alvin, I like to start with the base. But the way that I like to style out mine is kind of, and let me see, if we can stand up, you can see me too. Is style out things in kind of a checkered pattern. And so, well, with the weight, so I like to balance out the weight. And so for here, I do have my tray that's here as well as, and I will add that I also like to add in a personal touch or something that kind of speaks to you. So everyone knows that I like plants, and Alvin always teases me about all my plants, and you know what? We're at 134 right now. But anyway, so
that's a whole nother live and a whole nother topic.
So yes, and as you can see, I have my plants here, but no. So that's why I added a little plant. And then two, I like to put bar-related books on them. So I will bring this up so that you can see. So this one is kind of fun. It's called Free the Tipple. I don't know if, well, you got to be 21 and older to be in this anyway, so you're good. And then this one is Tequila Mockingbird. And then this one is just like some other recipes. And so that's fun to have, and make sure that you, hey, if you run out of a recipe to make for the night, so all you got to do is put it right on here and make your friends think that you know what you're talking about. Same thing as Alvin, though. I like to also have a space for my liquors. And of course, we do have Old Dominic and their complete fleet. Ooh, I didn't mean to rhyme. But yeah, their complete fleet of cocktails.
Your Old Dominic is on fleek. Nobody says that anymore, but it's okay.
You know, I was waiting on that. But, and so, true. And same thing, have your glasses here. And so basically you have everything that you need. And if you are going to be on like a smaller setting, like a patio, or if you have a, what is that, an apartment balcony, and you still, you know, down south, it is a very much thing, you know what, you stay in or you stay out. No in and out of the house. And so you have everything out of the house and you won't have to really move. And all that I need now is an ice tray and we'll be set. And so you don't have to overthink styling. You just make it fun, but always have a base and then have fun with it. And well, I do have some fruit. I won't say it's fresh, but it's fruit. All right, what's next?
But just like David said, like the key thing to this is think about the essentials that you need, whether you're inside or outside, because you ain't supposed to be running in and out this house. Pick one. So get everything that you need. And it's the same with your home bar, whether you're inside, get everything that you need in one area. The worst thing is when you're having friends over, or even for yourself, you don't want to have to run to this side of the house, go to the kitchen to get this. It's really the purpose of a home bar is to keep everything in one place. So this is Cocktail Central right here, happy hour right here at home. You ain't got to run all over the house. It's right here. So start with everything that you need and build upon it and just have fun. Make it your own.
So yeah, all right, and so we will be making sure that we stay like connected for if you have any questions or anything like that. And so I'm trying to see now, do we already want to get into the cocktail making of everything, or how do you want to do it?
Well, I can go ahead and explain my cocktail since I've already been over here sipping.
Check for questions.
Sipping and dipping, you know, dipping in and doing it. So Old Dominic was so gracious enough to send me this vodka. Now, I love vodka. I like anything. Just give me anything. But I feel like I'm a bartender and I can make anything happen with anything, except for like an old fashioned. That's really not my drink. But vodka cannot go wrong. So I have Old Dominic vodka. I have cane and herb hibiscus infused simple syrup, which is here. That's what gives it this beautiful pinkish purplish color. And then lemonade. So I call this hibiscus lemonade. So you start with your vodka, you start with your vodka, and then you go with your hibiscus simple syrup, and then you add your lemonade. And then the hibiscus simple syrup is so thick it will fall to the bottom, so you'll have this like cool ombre effect. And then you garnish with a lemon wedge. So another thing about me, I love making simple and refreshing cocktails. If it takes too much, like egg white and all that other stuff, I ain't got time for that. Not doing it. Simple, quick, and easy. Because I got to get my drink on, and my people got to get their drink on too. So I love simple, easy drinks. 3 ingredients. There you go.
All done. And you know what? And now that I am waiting on my ice, and I have a special guest that'll be bringing the ice already. Exactly. Come on.
Ooh, cameos.
Here to welcome first the owner of Stock and Bell, and so this is Erica Smith, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Erica.
So happy to be here today.
Oh, it's an honor.
It was so bad. All right, and so what I'm actually making is the New York Sour is my favorite cocktail. And so basically a New York Sour is lemon juice, simple syrup, and you have your whiskey and you top it off with red wine. And so if you have the right simple syrup to whiskey to lemon juice ratio, then when you pour the red wine on top, then it'll just float. So what I'm going to try to do is make one already. So what I've gone ahead and done is poured in the Old Dominick Fueling Station bourbon. I've also poured in the Canaan Urban. So what makes it a rosy New York sour is that I've poured in the Canaan Herb Simple Syrup that is rose infused. And I'll put this here. And so I'm actually going to grab my lemon really quick. And so put in the lemon juice. Let's see. Hold on. This is likely, I don't know. I forgot something.
He's getting his lemon juice. I will entertain y'all with some. So happy hour. Remember, when you're at home and you're entertaining, you're raising the bar, create a soundtrack, create a playlist, have fun with it. So while you're playing bartender, your guests, they can, be entertained by the jams, and then boom, you're like David, you're back at the bar, mixing it up.
Look at me. This is the jam whenever I'm making my drinks, just like this. I'm singing to it. There you go. It might be Anita Baker to Aaliyah in the back, or you know what? Our favorite, who is that? Lil Dragon?
Lil Dragon. We gotta have a little bit of Lil Dragon.
There we are.
Anything really that just make your shoulders move. If your shoulders ain't moving, you ain't doing it right.
That's why, I always send a nice little shimmy.
Yes.
All right, and so for the magic portion of it all, and so what I'm actually going to do is mix, and that's my rose petals, just to add a little bit of extra. So you mix around the concoction of the simple syrup, the lemon juice, and the whiskey, and then here is the test. We're gonna make sure the red wine does float, and you have to be ever so careful, and especially if you have a nice rug like this one, you don't want to mess up. So here we are. Let's see.
Ooh, this is so interesting.
There it is. So it's floating ever so slightly. You know what? I might have not put enough simple syrup in, but you know what? I'm gonna show you anyway because I'm not embarrassed about it. And so here you go. And so, oh, nope, I got it right. See how it does have that ombre effect, but you know what? And that's just how it completes it because yours from the bottom, mine is from the top. So, and there you go. That's the main thing though. Let's taste it.
Yes. Wait, we forgot to cheers.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Go for it. 1, 2, 3.
Cheers.
There we go. All right, now let me try to take 2.
Even though I've already been sipping.
You know what? I really hope that we eat something after this. I tried to eat as much as possible, but
I hope so.
that's why it's important that you have everything set on your bar card already, because after having this one, I don't think you're gonna be getting up anytime soon.
And you can also add a couple of like bar snacks as well. Like David has a full bar cart. On the bottom of that bar cart, if you don't have fruit, add some snacks because we like our snacks.
Exactly. So you can put some peanuts on there or some vegan jerky, because well, that's my problem now. I need something else to grab onto. But so have all your snacks that are on there, and it's fine. And you know what? Just this whole thing is about having fun. And so if you can dress it out at home, you can dress it out on your like you have on your countertop. But you know what? I don't know. I'm just seeing your head and shaking like this.
Because I'm agreeing. Everything you're saying is completely right. Either that or I'm filling my cocktail already.
I think that might be on mine as well. So let's check just to see.
We do have a question.
Uh-oh.
So we actually have 2 questions. Do you want to take the first one? You go.
Well, perfect. All right, and says, I love the plant look, but always kill them. The fake ones look crazy. Any tips? So I can't see who asked this question, but you know what? The fact that you said that they usually look crazy, that means that you don't think that this looks crazy. But let me show you something. It is indeed a fake plant. So all you have to do is really source from a nice place. And so, you know what? Let me get just a little bit closer. And so if you source from, and you know what? IKEA actually has probably some of the best artificial plants, but all you have to do is kind of style it out in other elevated accessories, and you will never know. And so like, well, you can go on that because I was about to go on a whole nother tangent about plants. So you can't feel this one because it's not allowed.
Yeah, like David said, like just find a good faux plant. I myself, I'm not a fan of faux plants. Of course, this is real. I always like real plants. I just like the way they look, feel, and smell. But another alternative is a succulent. You can never go wrong with a succulent. They're low maintenance. You just, water them every now and then, and they should be okay. So you can always do a succulent. You could do a cacti, which is a succulent. So there's options for you, or you could just do fresh flowers every now and then. When you're entertaining, go, the local grocery store, Trader Joe's, get fresh florals and just put that on your bar and call it a day. You don't necessarily have to have a plant or flowers there 24/7, but when you're having company over, it's a nice addition to elevate, like Carmion says, elevate the everyday. You can just elevate your bar at home. And it also feels like you're out for a night on the town, but you're right at home.
Yeah, and so as Alvin was just saying, you don't have to have it dressed all the time. I mean, because after a while, you're going to have to dust stuff off. You're going to have to clean it off. And so it's just best, like you said, when you're having company, just as you would do with the table, you're not going to have the table dressed all the time. So just make it a little bit extra special. Or, I mean, for me, I always like having fresh flowers in the house, like daily or weekly. And so that's kind of like my self-care treat to myself. So if you want to, just put them on there. And then when they're not in use, put them in your bedroom, put them in your living room, repurpose them for the coffee table. The possibilities are endless.
Endless possibilities. All right. Question number 2. We love bring extra. We love bring extra though. What else could we add to our bars? Oh, we love being extra. I do too. What else could we add to our bars to bring it over the top? So just like David and I said, flowers, fresh florals. You could do exotic fruits. Think of all the drinks that you drink when you're out and that kind of have like that exotic fruit or like passion fruit or like star fruit. Exotic fruits can take it over the top. Fresh florals can take it over the top. Even your glassware, you could do colored glassware. I'm a fan of amber colored glassware. You can do like green glassware, just anything to make it over the top. The tray can be silver, it could be gold. And the song Silver and Gold, it just came to me. That's it. But yeah, think of all those little extra moments. Just go for it. The thing is like, go for it. And I like to go for things in excess. So if I'm going to do fruit, child, I'm going to have grapes spilling over the side, all the fruit piled up. Like, this is not even enough fruit for me. I want all the fruit. I want the whole tropical jungle. Like, I mean, look, I got a whole bird of paradise and elephant leaf. So it's like, go over the top, especially when you're entertaining. Trust me, your guest will appreciate it.
And the same thing goes for, well, basically, if you have a lot more surface space, and I don't know if Alvin can quickly access it right now, but if you also want to go over the top and put a sculpture on there, like a bust or anything like that, and you know exactly what I'm referring to, if you can get it, just because y'all, I know his house. But yes, if you have enough surface area on your bar cart or on your countertop, that's something that you can add as well, because if you're a lover of art, put something that identifies with you. And if it's a little bit more over the top, make it over the top, it's fine. And the best part about it is that, well, it's at your house and you're the one who's paying the mortgage. So you can play around with it as much as you want to, add what you want, take away what you want, and simply make it your piece of artwork. It's your creativity. And if anyone has anything to say about it, tell them to leave. No, don't do that. No, we're gonna.
That's right. And then also another way to go over the top, think about, I don't really like to make sense with, food items, but think about the candles that you have, the candle holders, the vessels, vases. You can do so many. If you have little toothpicks or bar picks, think about what they're in. So always think about those unexpected items that most people don't think about, but you need them every day. So it's just finding a way to like elevate everything that you do. Add a sense of luxury into every single thing that you do. Think of when you go to a 5-star resort. Bring that feeling home. Bring it to your bar. Think about your favorite bar that you go to and have cocktails. Bring that whole experience into your home. That is what this is all about.
And so, yeah, and I'm going to let you take question 3 and I'll take question 4, because question 3 speaks more to the setup that you have. And it is from, and well, since I'm sitting down, it's kind of like a talk show right now. Question 3 from Victoria. I'm planning on buying a wooden credenza. How should I set up my bar? And I'm worried about ruining the wood. So, and since that's something.
Victoria, don't worry about ruining the wood. Trust me. So I have 2 wooden credenzas, and I use the top of my bar, and under And under one of them is all of the storage for all of my cocktails and not cocktails, but all my liquor. Y'all, I think my cocktails like really getting to me for real. But all of my liquor and everything that's essential for my bar. So the trick is, again, you want to get that tray. If you get a metal tray or a marble tray or petrified wood tray and put under everything, you will not ruin the wood, because you have to remember, you're not actually mixing cocktails there. It's just kind of like the staging area for it. And, you know, so you really don't have to worry about ruining the wood at all.
If anything spills, you just kind of wipe it up.
Grab and wipe it off.
Yeah, it's not going to be there forever.
No,
So, yeah, it's not like you have to worry about it being like a regular countertop next to the sink or anything like that.
Yeah, and another thing, don't be afraid to use your furniture. Like, you know, a lot of times, you know, it's not your grandmother's house or your great aunt's house where everything was covered in plastic and you couldn't use it. So don't be afraid. Furniture is meant to be used. And sometimes, not every time, but sometimes things look better when they're a little distressed. Not in every case. But if you do happen to like get it chipped or anything, you know, you can just get the wood pin and like fill it in. But honestly, if you get a tray, you shouldn't have to worry. And also put a felt, like those little felt bumpers underneath your tray just to protect your wood. And even if you do, I'm looking over here because I have a plant there with a planter. Put felt underneath it and you should be fine.
So like the little movers.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, Dawn asks, and now we did cover just a little bit of this, but we will kind of, make the list concise. But it's basically the top 10 bar essentials and, you know, like alcohol and fixins that she's basically concerned that she's wants to set up her home bar, but don't want to make it boring. So for me, the top 5 would be what your spirits would be. So keep your favorites on there. So if you pretty much favor, what is this, whiskey, bourbon, anything like that, make sure that that's on there. Whatever fruit that you're going to use. Now, of course, don't store your fruit all the time. But you know that because you're going to have some little gnats flying around. But now, if you're going to have, and please, with enough plants, I think I know a little bit about that. But no. Well, that's another talk. But yeah, make sure that you have your fruits on there. If you want to have any recipe books like I have here, then you're like, if you're running out of recipes for any cocktails, make sure that you put that on there. Of course, what you're going to use to make the actual cocktails, your glassware, and then anything that's decorative. So it's really about exploring the options that you want to explore. And Alvin, if you have any extra.
So the way I started my bar essentials was I would think about the restaurants that, and especially at the height of, you know, quarantine and everything that was going on. I would think about my most favorite cocktails I enjoyed at the restaurants that I used to frequent a lot. So I started with that. So if I wanted a wild berry mojito, I was like, gosh, what was in that? Look it up. Boom. Let me go get this. So start with your favorite cocktails and get those ingredients first. The basics, you already know you're going to need a vodka. You may need a tequila. You may need a bourbon. You may need a cognac and a whiskey. Start with those. Then I know I like Saint Germain, I like Chambord. So it's like, then you start with all of those other liqueurs to mix with your cocktails. And so you just start there, but you always know you're gonna need a simple serve, you're gonna need the basics. So start with those things, and of course, the things to actually mix it. You need a shaker, you're gonna need your bar tools. Yeah, I would start there, a decanter. Those are like, always start with the things that you like the most, and then you just build upon it. And it's not going to happen in one day. I mean, nobody's going to have a whole nightclub set up for one day. So start with what you like and what you enjoy, and then expand upon that. It's just like design. It doesn't happen overnight. You start somewhere, and it just constantly evolves and grows as you go.
You build your story.
That's right.
Now, question 5, Sonia asks, what would you suggest to create a hidden bar? Like, I want a bar, but not to make it look like a bar. Now, one thing that I would think about, just because I kind of had to do this, is if you have a space on your countertop and you maybe want to have your bar essentials there. Now, one thing that you can do, and what I ended up doing, is I actually took a cutting board and hid the extra bottles that I had. And so actually, you know what? I have the cutting board here. And it's almost as if Sonia knew that I was going to, or I knew that Sonia was going to ask this question. So I had like all of my bottles behind here, like anything that it was to make any type of cocktails, my recipe books, just basically anything that would set up as a bar. And then on the front of it, I had any of like my cooking utensils. So if I wanted to have a vessel to where I had my spoons, my knives, my forks, anything to where I was like, as if I was whipping up something. So it's basically like having a countertop speakeasy. And then once it's time to break out the bar, there you go. There's your hidden door. And here are all of your barware, your accoutrements, your liquors. And yeah, so I mean, that's just one hidden way.
Alvin, reverse it.
Time.
Well, again, I'm a fan of having things hidden as much as possible. So of course, mine is in my credenza. So you can do it that way. You can add it into a credenza. If you have, great idea. If you have the space, if you have like a linen closet or a little pantry, you can turn that into like a whole bar situation. And it's behind a closed door. Just build it inside out, add some wallpaper, add like, a little cabinet. There's like endless possibilities that you can do for that. Everything doesn't have to be seen all the time, but it's not out of sight and out of mind because we need our cocktail.
And now another idea, and I love that one. Another idea that I saw, they now, especially with work from home being such a thing, and that it was last year, but it still kind of is now. We'll see how things go. But there is actually a little setup. It's a little contraption, and it is a fold-out desk. And so that's not to say that you have to use it for work all the time, because it does have shelves that are inside. And so that's where you can put your simple serves, like unopened. You can put your liquors there. You can put anything basically to dress out any of your cocktails. And then when it's time to close up the bar, you fold it up. And if you want to take it an extra step and it's like, well, what is this piece of wood that's on my wall? Get a nice painting, put over it, and there you go. There's your hidden bar.
I love that. All right, next question is, I love the idea of starting with your favorite cocktails from the restaurants you love. Will you both talk about a favorite spot and a drink in Memphis and in NYC? So let's go with Memphis first.
You know what? One of my favorite places, and it ended up being like I'll say my cheers for a little bit, was Alchemy, and that was in Cooper Young. So Cooper Young is very much a historic portion or part of town, and so it's known for the arts. It's known for its, it's people who are eccentric, those who just like to have fun and walk about. It's very much a pedestrian portion of town. I'm very open-minded, and so it's just fun. There's so much that's there. I know that my parents, and I look over here because some of our special guests are here. My dad and his family once had a house over there. And so it's just pretty much a really fun part of town. But I will say now, and a place that I've started to frequent is Pontotoc Lounge. And so it's just right down the street. And that's another place if I want to get my French 75s, or if I want to get a Joe Shot, which is like the modern and grown-up take of vodka and Red Bull, but it's like coffee and whiskey. And those are some of my favorite. And, hopefully if someone comes here to Memphis, we can probably take some field trips up and down the street. We'll see.
Yes, but, don't give me anything that is like coffee and vodka. Like, no, thank you.
Well, no, we ain't gonna mix them because we got to walk down the street. So now I'm going
to Well, so there's a restaurant that all my friends would be like, gosh, you love that restaurant. But I love Cafeteria here in New York. So Cafeteria is a restaurant. It's like open like 24/7. David, I think you went when you were here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have, of course, talked about this earlier. They have a wild berry mojito, and it is like, it is so delicious. So I started there. And then now as the world has opened back up, I enjoy Scampi. David, you know Scampi.
Yep.
I forget the name of the drink, but I love anything that's fresh and refreshing. So it has cucumber and I think tequila. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Like, it is so delicious. So I always just experiment and try different drinks when I go to a restaurant. Always ask the waiter, like, hey, how does this taste? Like, what is this like? What's your favorite drink? And then also tell them what you enjoy. Like I always say, yeah, I love refreshing drinks, but I like a little bite to it too. So I'm also going to try anything with gin in it because now gin is like my new favorite. So, but always talk to the bartender, talk to the server, find out what they like and what they enjoy. And the good thing about going out, if you try a drink and you don't like it, you can just send it back. They don't care. No. And that's you at the club, because then they're going to be like, you paid for it, you got it.
Exactly. Especially if you take it on the dance floor, you probably spill it all on the way there.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see. It says, what cocktail is your guilty pleasure? You're kind of embarrassed, but love it anyway. Oh, then you can pick that one because I don't. I mean, if I'm a drinker, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't think
Oh yeah,
so.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed by anything. I guess for me, it would be, when I go out, but I live in New York, so it's like if I get a Cosmo, it's like, oh, okay, I see you. That's how you feel. But a Cosmo is like a oldie but goodie. But I enjoy a good Cosmo every now and then. But I'm not guilty about it. It's an oldie but goodie.
You know what? And I'm trying to, not that I'm embarrassed about ordering it, but I'm embarrassed about probably what happens follow after it, and it's a Long Island iced tea. So I think
Yeah.
what that might be my one that it is a little guilty pleasure, but
It's like a rookie drink. That's like a starter drink.
well, no,
That's like if you go order, oh, can I get a Missouri sour? That's like, what is that?
you want some syrup and a little bit of something. But yeah, so yeah, that might be my, and I'll drink that only in the house because y'all don't need to know that, Let's see, keep the questions coming, y'all. Let's see. Okay. This one says, you want me to read it off, Alvin?
Yes.
And I like this one accidentally. One of the things that intimidates me about styling my home is the money. I accidentally have expensive taste. And so if there was one piece for my home bar to really invest in, what would you recommend? And where would you find a great piece on a budget? So I will say, I don't think expensive taste is accidental.
No.
Born with it. That's how it is. And if you're going to splurge on one item, and for me, I'm very much a fan of bar cards. So if you can find a really nice statement piece, a really nice bar card, and what my computer is actually sitting on is one from Stock and Bell, and it's from Nuevo, so that brand. It's a nice walnut. It has some nice brushed nickel, I'm thinking, or brushed. Yeah, a brushed nickel finish. And so just have a really nice statement piece, one that is just as nice as your furniture, because if you have accidental expensive taste, then more than likely your furniture is nice. So if you want to keep that as a piece of cohesion, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on what goes on top of the bar. I mean, because a lot of things can very much come from Amazon. It can come from other more cost-effective stores. But if you have a nice piece of real estate that it's sitting on, no one's going to question it because they're going to be too intrigued by what it's sitting on. So hey, that's mine.
That is very much so true. And to piggyback off of what David said, I agree. You don't have to spend a lot of money on the items that are on top of the bar or your home bar situation. It's all about what the bar is actually residing on. Is it a bar cart? You don't want to get something that's cheap and flimsy, and then you put your glassware and your alcohol there and it falls apart. So I say start there. And even if you do a credenza, if you do something on a console table, if you do it hidden away, you want to invest in that piece because you want it to be sturdy enough to hold all of your alcohol, because your collection is going to grow. Like your bar is going to constantly grow and evolve as you continue to make your cocktails and host people over. So you want to make sure that it's in a good sturdy piece. You don't want it to fall apart, because the things on top of the bar, you can get anywhere.
And as far as we're sourcing, so yes, if you are in Memphis, I would say come to Stock and Bell, because there are some really nice bar card options that are here, like this one. But if you are out of town, or you're wanting to source it, maybe a different place, something that's very accessible but still nice furniture, West Elm, CB2. I know that I've placed a really nice bar cart that is walnut, brass finish, and then it has a bit of marble on top of it as well. And so it was not that expensive, however, it is well made. And so if you're wanting to source from there, I would say West Elm, CB2. I know that CB2, of course, you're going to say.
Yeah, you already knew that. I think Article, All Modern, Wayfair, those, what is it? Is it One King's Lane? I don't know. All those places, anywhere online, really, just always, always, always read the reviews anytime you make a purchase from anywhere.
Yep.
Read the reviews and see what everyone has to say. And then you can also see real photos in people's homes just to see what they're saying, and if it's difficult to put together, if it's cheap, if it's flimsy. So always read the reviews, but honestly, you can shop anywhere. But just always remember, you honestly get what you pay for. You don't have to pay a lot, but you get what you pay for.
And another thing to piggyback off of Alvin is make sure, when you are reading the reviews, and what I really like doing is, like he said, make sure that you check the photos. So then that way you can check the scale of the piece of the furniture. So if you're wanting, you're expecting this larger bar cart, and then you end up with one that is made for a dream house for Barbie, then you probably should have looked at the pictures. But it's just making sure that you make an informed decision, and you can. And that's why I know a lot of people may not or may pass over the reviews, but it's always good to make sure that you read them because
I read every review. Oh, question from We Are Memphis. David, hit us with your favorite places in Memphis to shop. Any other local spots in addition to Stock and Bell? Because I want to know, when I come, where are you taking me?
You know what? Well, I'm going to mention, we already said Stock and Bell, but because I'm here, Stock and Bell. But as far as, let's say, Spitfire, for plants, because you are going to look at plants. So just go ahead and get ready for it.
Well, you're not going to buy any.
No, we're going to buy some. I'm shipping back to you.
Golden room in here.
Terracotta for plants. Let's see. Everbloom for plants. And for other items that she has, like home decor items. Let's see, for candles, I would like to go to Downtown Candle Company. They are a locally, Black owned. They are hand poured, and I think that they are practicing sustainable practices now for their candle making. So that's a favorite place to shop. Oh my God. And now that I've discovered that she does have some vegan options, 17 Berkshire. She does have the macaroons that are amazing. But y'all, she has this chocolate chip cookie. 3 of them I bought. 3 of them never made it to my car. So there you go.
Wow.
So yes, let's see. I'm trying to think of other places. And I know, listen, there's so many amazing places in Memphis to shop locally. And let me see if anyone can spit off. Oh yes. Anywhere on Broad. So yes, thank you very much. And we have another special guest here that you're going to see very soon. But yes, anywhere that is on Broad, I'd like to go to Mbazi. And so that's owned by Grace. Grace is extremely, I promise you, she lives up to her name. She's graceful, but no, she is, I know, hopefully she's watching. If not, I'm going to text her and be like, I shouted you out. But for any of like the cultural elements, and I always speak to this in my design, I like to bring in a bit of my culture, a bit of my heritage into where I design. And so like, of course, my home, but I like to do that for clients as well. But she is where I will go for any of, like if I'm dressing out tablescapes and I want to use mud cloth as a table runner, that's where I will go. Any baskets, she has jewelry. I'm trying to think, she does have some apparel items. She will make clothing for you. So she's a seamstress as well. So I'm trying to think as well. Oh, Muddy's Bake Shop is over there as well. What next? Everbloom, yes. Well, Everbloom we mentioned. City and State, which is also some more of my friends, and y'all will see more of that coming soon. Falling Into Place is very nice, and she does have, now she's opening up a boba tea. Well, she has a truck now, but I forget the name. It's Sugar Ghost? Am I saying that right? Okay. And Alvin, you'll try that as well. I'm thinking, listen, let's go by streets. Broad, Kubrion, Downtown, South Main. That's where you are. And you can go up and down the street. Oh, and then the north end of downtown as well. And you won't be steered wrong. And so, Alvin, I hope you got your tennis shoes ready.
You know, I got my running shoes on. I'm ready. I am so ready.
Yes.
I'm excited just to really experience. Like I've never been to Nashville, not Nashville, Memphis.
Well, you know what, we do know them, but you know how Jennifer Lopez and Mariah Carey, how they know each other, but they don't know.
I don't know how.
Pretty much, I don't know her.
I love it.
All right. So yeah, there are a lot of places that we have, and that there's just a magic that's happening in Memphis, and there are so many neat creatives. Memphis magic, of course, if you can see that. But there's so many neat creatives that are here, and there's just, we've talked about this a lot, that there is something that is happening right now, that there's like a rumble under the ground that is about to emerge, and there is something very special that is already happening in Memphis because it is Memphis, but we still have our soul. We have maintained our soul, and that's not anything that we plan on giving up anytime soon. And so since we have fought the long fight, it's now time for us to shine. And I think that in many facets, and especially with someone that I'm proud of right here, that Memphis is going to look good.
Oh yeah. So you know what, David, I actually have a question for you.
Ooh.
What are some of your favorite bars or places to go, lounges, hotels, wherever, to grab a cocktail in Memphis?
Right down the street, Arrive is a really, really nice place to go for cocktails because, well, it is a hotel. But then when you walk in, that's where I will go for instance, that's where I went for my apartment therapy, the small cool event that happened. I went there for a little bit of inspiration, like visual inspiration for building out that room. And so when you sit down, it's very moody. The vibe is nice. And I believe that's where we might end up going for a part 2 of tonight. But I would say, well, depending upon what level of fun you want to have, Silly Goose is also a very nice place. There is somewhere that is opening up soon that I'm excited about. But if you also want to go to Second Line, that is a really nice place to go and get drinks. But that is the restaurant, and it is New Orleans based. So it has good food, and what you'll need if you're going to have good cocktails, you need good food to match it. And I am not sure if it is open yet, but in the Memphis Hotel, they do have a rooftop, and I forget the name of it, but that'll be another place that's on our field trip. Tiger. It's a tiger involved. But yeah, you'll see it when we get here.
Okay, a tiger. I'm game.
All right. What else?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more questions in the queue. Anything you want to ask me?
So when I do come back to New York, same question, where are some of the places that because we had a day that we could, but now I do want to go back to Gitano because I did have there, but we were a little tired. So where's that are your favorite?
So in New York, y'all don't think I'm bougie, but I love to go to great hotels and experience I just like a good experience. With anything I do, I want the full New York experience. So the King Cole Bar at the Ritz-Carlton here in Midtown, that's a place where you get dressed up, you go get a cocktail, you feel like, I tend to romanticize New York. I feel like I live in a movie all the time. So I want to get dressed up. I want to go grab a cocktail. The Plaza Hotel, again, you can go for happy hour right after, 4 or 5 o'clock. You don't have to dress up, really casual, get a good cocktail, run over to Bergdorf's, run that check up and call it a day. But on a more like laid back, still luxurious, but kind of, like fun and like, there's a rooftop bar. It's called Castile. It's on top of I think it's the AC Hotel on 42nd Street. It's in Times Square, but once you get to the rooftop, it is amazing. Panoramic views of the city, beautiful atmosphere, crazy fireplaces, marble everywhere. Y'all know how I feel about marble, and amazing cocktails and crazy views. I'm like, in New York, you always go up. You never want to stay on the ground. If you're enjoying your cocktail, go high, sip, and see. It's all about the sip and see. Where else? Love great restaurants, of course. Scampi, Cafeteria. So many great restaurants to just get a good cocktail. But as far as like bars, it's going to be a hotel, or it's going to be, it's probably going to be a hotel because they have really, really nice bars. And that's one thing that a lot of New Yorkers do. They get off work, and they go grab a cocktail, or they meet up with their friends and go grab a cocktail. Even when it comes to retail, all of the retail flagship stores, they have great bars and restaurants. So you can meet at Bergdorf and grab a cocktail. Even restoration and hardware, you go look at furniture, you go to the rooftop, grab a cocktail, grab something delicious to eat, because y'all know that's one of my spots too. It's always an experience. Everything here is about the total experience. And if you're gonna spend the money to have a great cocktail, you want that full experience too. So that's my whole spiel.
I know. Let me not run over here. I'm sorry. No, I wanted to piggyback off what you said about like the retail spaces. And I know like we may not be making cocktails here, but at Stock and Bill, there is, every last Friday of the month, there's a thing here called Trolley Night. And so Stock and Bill is very much one of the hubs, if not the hub, for Trolley Night. And so one thing that is fun, you may not be able to come and get a cocktail yet. We'll see about having a bartender on staff soon, but you will be able to come here and have a nice beer. It'll be a craft and local beer, or have some nice wine and have that retail experience, but you're also featuring an artist for that night. And so you get a chance to actually meet the artist. You get a chance to meet different people in the city. And so that is very much something that speaks to having, something nice to do, a nice drink in hand, but really forming a stronger community. And that's something, again, that is very special. I know New York is a special place, but Memphis is very much a special place. It has it in my heart and just where it's going right now. So I can't wait.
How often is the trolley night, and when is that? I would love to be there when that happens.
So yeah, well, we'll see if we're going to have to coordinate another trip for you here. But Trolley Night happens every last Friday of the month. And so basically it is on the south end of Maine. And so it's where like all of the restaurants, but it's basically catered to like the retail spots as well as the art galleries. And so they'll open up their doors, have free liquor, they'll have anything, any libations period. They have music, whether it'll be live music or like they have their DJ, try to always feature an artist or have some type of special to kind of draw you in, because this very much probably maybe 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, was a ghost town. And so now to bring people back downtown and to show them that, you know what, Memphis is cool. We do have cool spots here. Let's have this. And you can actually jump on the trolley, hence the whole name of the night. And I believe it runs free for the night. And so you can get on, have your little party on there, jump off, go to the next store, next gallery, and then hop back on and just bounce up and down the street. So it is basically a block party, but for a portion of the town. And
I love that.
Yeah, we'll try to get you
part of that.
Let's see. All right. Oh, and so where can we find, well, where can y'all find us? On Instagram, TikTok, all the places. So Alvin, you go.
All right, so on Instagram, Alvin Wayne. I literally made everything easy. It's my name. Instagram, Alvin Wayne. YouTube, subscribe. I have not made a video in a while, but trust me, there's some new stuff coming. A lot of reveals coming soon. So on YouTube, it's Alvin Wayne. And on TikTok, it is Alvin Wayne as well. So literally Alvin Wayne, Alvin Wayne, Alvin Wayne. Say it 3 times, I may appear somewhere.
You have to like click your heels for something too.
What's that?
I said you have to click your heels for something too to make it happen.
I mean, you gotta click your heels, say my name say my name, say my name.
You
Don't
can
want to say it.
And same as Alvin too. It is David.Quarles the 4th on Instagram, DavidQuarles4th.com. And on TikTok, even though I have not made a video in a while and I'm just going to work on creating, I know, and Alvin always gets onto me, but you know what? I'm going to take my reels from Instagram, put them on TikTok because we all know the same thing. But so same thing on there, David.Quarles the 4th. And just to make it simple for you to follow us, and I mean, we have fun on our pages. In the morning, you will read it. Let's see. Oh, yes. So in the morning, you will be greeted by a pan around of our homes. We have amazing music. And one thing that I do want to make sure to mention as well, I know that we are in the mode of wrapping up and I now have my cue card. So here we go. No, I needed help to remember this note. So for the questions as far as like shopping and any of the, and let me see. I got my hands right here. And so as far as the shopping of any of the items for the bar cart, if you want to, there is a link that is in the stream. And so if you use, WAM20, you are going to get 20% off of any of the Stock and Bell bar collection. And so one of my favorites, and this is the tray that is actually on here, and I don't know if you can see this, but if you know me personally, you know that I love gold. And so this is clad out in brass, and then these are all heels. And so if you can see this, and then with a little bit of gold leaf in there. And so things like this, some colorful items, because again, y'all very much know that I'm a champion of color. That's why I set up the vignette like this, but have some really nice items. And it's a nice way to kind of take the support from the bigger guys and put it into something local.
I love that. Oh, and I also forgot to mention www.alvinwayne.com. See, made it easy for you.
So let's see, any other questions? Because, well, yes, we very much do have adventures. And I know I will mention this. So Alvin will have sourcing Saturdays, or he kind of sprung one up on us this weekend or this week.
It was a surprise.
So that's something that Alvin does, and he will take you all along on his day-to-day. And I try to do the same thing as if I have any installs that are coming up. I like to call it Operation Curation with David. And so I like to, listen, it's going to be something one day.
I'm here for it.
But I like to take you along because I think that we've moved past the influencers or anyone on the internet just showing you only the highlights. We want to show you our life, and we very much maintain our boundaries as well, healthy boundaries. But we want to welcome you in because we are forming a community. And so one thing that we learned over the pandemic, we were not able to associate much in person, but we made some really nice, tight-knit connections over the internet. whether you know it or not, I did not meet Alvin in person until my trip to New York. And we have been friends long before, and there,
Yeah.
it's happened.
It's crazy, but it's something about like just your energy attracts good people, and good people always find good people, and like people always find like people. So no matter if it's through your cell phone, the computer screen, whatever it is, whatever you put out, you always get back. So just always remember that, and remember to treat everybody how you want to be treated, and give grace. I mean, everybody going through something, so just always be kind, and you never know what type of people you may pull into your life.
Exactly. You never know who's watching, and you never know like Alvin said, the connection that you're going to make. Because if you have any type of art that you're doing or any type of profession and you're wanting to continue to make those connections, just always be nice, always be courteous. One thing that I know that since she's right here, Carmion will champion, but period, in order to have any command that's happening, what do you have to do to Siri first? You have to say, you don't just say Siri, you say what? Hey Siri, and then she responds. Same thing, just speak. But just, I mean, it's a way of common courtesy. So, I mean, I love making connections online, and we've had a good time so far. We might as well keep it going. So,
I know, but you know what I do want to know? Is there any questions from the audience that you have?
let's see. I'm trying to look on here. Y'all want to text us something? We still got a little bit of time left.
I mean, they can scream it out.
Or you know what? Is this time now to bring in our live audience to see if they have any questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you know what? We do have some special, let me see. There we go. So we have some special guests coming in. So y'all want to come in for a quick second?
Let me see who all up in there.
Just gonna make it a whole party for a second. Let's see. Erica, don't get over here. All right. Come on. Why y'all afraid?
No, get on camera. Get on camera.
Here we are. Let's see if we know who this is.
I think we should make everybody give us a question.
There we are. And y'all know management, right? There's Dad. Here's Quita.
Come on, Dress.
Erica. Here's Kim.
Yes, Leopard.
So here we are. So let's see if we need to. All right, there we go. So yes, we do very much have our full live audience. So anyone have questions that they want to ask Alvin, or just in general?
In general.
I just want to know what this drink tastes like.
Oh, well, we're going to get to that. So you know what? Because of the potency of this drink, we're probably going to have to drink this off camera. But
I was like, oh,
but we will get to that. But well, I should have had samples already made. That is all right. Let's see. But anything else? We want to know, you know what? When you coming?
well, soon.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say. Soon.
We'll see you place very soon.
How soon?
Like
You're supposed to say real soon.
real soon. Very soon. Soon as I get.
You knew that was gonna happen.
I literally have a song for everything. So
Yes, you do.
Well, cool. Well, I think that unless you have any questions that are any wrapping up statements for the people.
no, just thank you guys for everyone who tuned in and for supporting us and asking questions. And we're only a DM away, but make sure you say hey first.
Exactly. No, but yes, and seriously, thank you so much. I mean, because you did not have to click the button to register, and then for those who were able to register VIP, you supported local businesses here, so thank you very much. And then you got a little taste of Memphis as well. But no, thank you for taking out your time. You could have been sleeping on the couch. You may be sleeping right now. We don't know. But no, we definitely want to thank you because time is the biggest luxury that we all have. So thank you so much for spending your time with us. And yeah, send us any questions. If you have any extra questions about bar styling, about favorite cocktails, or if you see them on our stories, because there will be more, feel free to ask. It's fine.
Yeah. And make our cocktails. They're delicious.
Yes, and so Alvin in his stories just shared his recipe, and I will reshare the recipe that I had for my drink. And then if you all want to, you can post them tomorrow and say, hey, David, Alvin, I tried y'all's drinks, and then see how you liked it. Or if you fell asleep while you were trying them, then just text us on a Saturday.
David, we also have your recipe posted on the Stock and Bell website.
Yes, so Stock and Bell website, Stock and Bell Instagram. if you don't, because I probably won't get to posting it. They already know. Kim always takes care of it. So yes, it is on their website and on their Instagram right now. So make sure that you go and check it out. And yeah, y'all, thank you so much.
Thank you guys and have a good night. Oh, cheers from an empty glass.
Mine halfway full, but we'll make sure that we rectify that. I'll see you.
Cheers. Good night.